We're recording, and I
We're
think
live on.
we are live. Welcome, everyone, to another session of Notorious DMG, in which this week we are playing Zweihander. We've had a 2-week hiatus. Life has come up, sickness has come up, all other crappiness has come up, but we are now back for another session to pick up where we left off. Now, as a bad host and DM, I forgot to let everybody introduce themselves last time and their channels, and that's a big no-no. And then I shamed myself on Twitter the next day afterwards. So this week, I'm not going to forget, and I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves, who they are, what they do, the content they produce, so you can go all enjoy it. And while they're doing that, that gives me a chance to change the title of my video. So, let's start at the bottom of Roll20, going left to right. So Seth, you are first.
Oh shit. My name is Seth. I'm the Dungeon Master for a podcast called The Monday Nights, where me and my buddies get very drunk and play D&D and record it and put it on the internet, and we're all very narcissistic and we want people to hear it. And that's the entire premise of almost all of the things that are going on with that.
I like it. It's good stuff. It's funny.
Beautiful.
And you are possibly giving away a nude picture of the crew.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Oh, man.
It didn't win the Twitter poll, but oh, I'm sorry. My dogs are very loud. We blew past the 750 total listens mark.
Yep.
A lot faster than I expected to. So basically, once 1,000 people have listened to that stuff in I don't know, a week. We didn't put up an episode this week because I've been working 80 hours. It's been horrible. But yeah, in vaguely at our current pace, 12 to 14 days, we will give out a big set of dice, and probably to the runner-up of the giveaway that we do, a full cast nude in a frame. So
tasteful nude.
Look forward
That
to
sounds
that.
like
So
first
the
place
loser
right
of the
there.
giveaway.
No, honest, in my personal opinion, that will be the true winner.
Yes, that'll be the prize number 1. Thanks. All right, Seth. Sorry, Chuck, I cut you off there. I just remembered the nude. I had to mention.
No, that was important and worthwhile.
I know that it's also important to Chuck, so
He really wants to win that nude.
Not
when I
talking
posted
about
that,
it.
He was the first person to say anything about it.
Yeah. All right. So who am I? I am Chuck. I do stuff over on the Defenders of Kobold. If you ask me, I'm their fearless leader. If you ask them, I'm the idiot who talks the most. We play 5th edition. Right now, I'm running a 4th edition game. After that, I think I'm going to force them to play some Dungeon Crawl Classics. It'll be great.
Please do.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I don't know if they are, but they don't get a choice. So yeah, we stream stuff on Twitch. Just look Defenders of Kobold. I talk a lot on Twitter, do Kobold Defenders. We got a YouTube that I'm very thirsty for more viewers on, so go check that out.
Yes, let's help Chuck out get some more viewers. What are you at right now, Chuck?
I'm at 40, so that
Okay.
tweet I put out yesterday got me 2 more.
Okay, we need to get him 60 subscribers.
Is it 6? Yeah, 60 more, yeah.
It's 100 to get that sweet-ass customized URL. So we need to get you 60 more followers, subscribers.
Well,
We can do that.
Subscribe to your goddamn subreddit. So what do you think of that?
Oh man, I don't do anything on that subreddit.
Yeah, you haven't done anything on that subreddit in 307 days, Chuck.
Wow.
Yeah, joke's on you, Seth.
God, that means we've been streaming for almost a year now, though. That's fancy stuff.
You make me a mod on your subreddit, and I'll post every day until I forget.
Okay. I will go and get those 2 days of posts from you. Anyway, that's me, and here in this game, I am playing Kozel, a pacifist forest hippie who just loves some fucking mushrooms, and he's got a secret that he hasn't shown anyone yet.
That is so ominous.
I don't even know what it is. I'm sitting going, what's your secret? Kozel?
It's a secret.
Kozel? I'm the GM. I have no clue.
GM doesn't need to know everything.
This
Right?
is Kozel's world. We're all just living in it.
Yeah, apparently. All right, Steven, it's your turn.
Hello, everyone. I'm Steven, the DM. You can just call me Steven. I make videos on the internet about how to be a better dungeon master, most specifically in D&D 5th edition, because that's the best edition of D&D. You can fight me. I will be playing Waldo Lannis, the alcoholic halfling, and I am here just to kind of hang out and have fun with you guys.
Yeah.
Aww.
And we love it. And last but certainly not least, Bert.
Yeah, I'm that guy. I'm playing Sandow, particularly beautiful looking ogre. Leader of the group, he thinks. It's mostly
I
his
don't feel
wallet
like we've
that's doing the
acknowledged
leading.
often enough that you are literally an ogre.
Yes, literally an ogre. I host the Of Steam, Steel, and Murder podcast, which can be found at ofsteamsteelandmurder.simplecast.com, which currently we're playing a multitude of games, including a BX edition of Dungeons & Dragons. We are doing the Dresden Files using Fate Accelerated, and we're doing Pig Smoke, yeah, that's what it's called, a Powered by the Apocalypse game of academic mischief. Yeah, let's call it mischief. And murder. My guys typically murder a lot.
Murder hobos.
Well, it's
Sure
not
are.
of steam, steel, and chilling out.
That is
He's
very
not
true.
wrong. He's not wrong.
I do love that you're playing an ogre noble bard, and you're actually the most normal character.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is true. This is true.
Everyone just like looks at the three of us and is like, "Fuck that! I'll talk to the well-dressed ogre."
Well, he is kind of known in this land as the candy guy, the candy
Gerber
child
baby.
You're
The Gerber baby
You're the
of-
Gerber baby
of this world. If you guys are looking for
Poster
links,
boy for diabetes.
I forgot how much I fucking love all these goddamn characters.
oh,
dude.
they're so
This
good.
is
You
such
guys
a
have gotten
fun
so many
group.
compliments over this cast of characters. But if you guys are looking for links to any of their channels and all that, there are character cards that I currently have flashing and rotating down on the stream right now, and
Oh,
it has
that
links to
is
everybody's Twitter and
quite
everybody's websites or YouTube or whatever it is that they post on. It's all in there. So go ahead, please feel free, check these guys out, follow them.
Don't go to our website. It's so bad. It's the one that Blueberry gives you for having a podcast.
Well, it's listed there. It's your
Perfect.
call.
Our tagline is a great podcast for the whole family, and I think the fourth word in the whole show is fuck.
yeah, it's
That's beautiful.
not a family program at all. But okay, so let's get to the recap. So like I said, it's been 2 weeks since we played, so we're gonna have to pull on our memories here. So we started things off. You guys have came across a massacre in the road, and this was the hemp shipment that was going from Vorburg to Swansea for the wedding of Maximilian and Helena. Let me jump over. I updated our little web of intrigue here from last time we've played. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. This has all of the players.
Ooh.
Let's zoom out.
I'm not on here.
Well, all of the players in this tangled web.
I love the amount of work you have just put into this single document because it is beautiful.
Oh, really?
This is
Thank
pretty
you.
good.
I also
Yeah,
appreciate
it's
that
nice.
Forrest is now a member of it.
Yes, yes. So you get to look at them all game, or as long as I choose to leave you on this screen. So you
I
guys
wish
were.
that he didn't have Lizelette because I just want Horst to just be a separate piece of the tree off in like a corner of this document, just a Horst face. It's like Horst, also a member of the world.
Just a giant Horst face. So you guys encountered the slaughter on the highway, and it was bizarre because it looks like it was all done from the tree line using arrows. The guardsmen that were protecting the shipment were not ransacked. The hemp was still sitting there. It was not taken. It looks like it was a planned attack. There was signs of traps that were placed in the roads for the horses. And there was no sign, though, of Heinrich and his son Dieter, who were part of the outfit, who Maximilian had entrusted with this whole operation. He was a close friend of Maximilian, was Heinrich. But Andre had revealed that he was not a fan of Heinrich, because you guys found out later that he beat his son and beats his wife. So he's not... he's a pretty terrible person. So, but their bodies weren't there. So you guys carried on to Vorburg, and when you arrived... the gates were closed. You were allowed in, but you were asked. We were introduced to Waldman, who is Maximilian's son from a previous marriage, And you were asked to accompany him and the other men outside the gates, where you were shown the scene of Heinrich strung up like a scarecrow in one of the fields, and his body was mutilated and it was riddled with arrows, and it had been placed there earlier that day. So you guys cut him down and brought him back into the city gate, or the town gates. You were asked to keep this on the down low, and if anybody asked you what the cause of it was supposed to be bandits. Well, no talk of mutants or anything like that. That was the other thing. The tracks from the attack in the highway led back towards the village that you guys headed towards, to this village that you're in now. So you've been asked to keep any talk of mutants or any of that on the down low. You were told of the horrible past of this village, where it was attacked, I believe it was 12 years ago, by a band of mutants and orcs, and all of the women and females of the village were slain and taken away at that time. And that is why there are nothing but young women and young brides all over this town, which kind of had you guys scratching your heads going like, what kind of weird place is this? After that, you went to the local tavern and inn, where you were given free room and board by Maximilian, and you proceeded to meet the proprietor Horst and his wife Lizalette. You kind of questioned them a little bit about what's going on here in Vorburg.
I believe Blort was looking for basically any like plausible cause to attack Horst on site.
Yeah, you did slap a laborer when he made a comment like, "Oh, would you give up your wife for a younger one?" You're like, "Ah!" and you took out you
because he was like,
him.
He was just casually joking about like pedophilia, and I was like, I mean, the world's gonna end, but I still don't agree with that.
So you backhanded him, and it didn't really escalate past that. And then the last thing we left off on was Sandow was talking to Horst's wife there and just kind of asking her where she came from and how she's enjoying life here, and if, she's kind of against her will or anything like that. But she was, oh, look at that. Thanks, Chuck, for the bits.
You got it.
Yes, the first bits. 100 bits for striking pedophiles. Yes. I love it. That is a worthy cause. Thank you. You were questioning her. Sandow. And you were laying it kind of thick, because from when I went back and watched the video, because I had to refresh my memory, you were performing at the time. But you didn't really get any information. You found that she was quite happy. She's quite happy with her husband. She's quite taken aback by him, and she quite believes his stories of being a once great warrior. Remember, there's a sword above the door, and he talked about how he slayed, 20, 30, 40, however many it is. It goes up every time you talk to him. Orcs, back when the village was attacked a dozen years ago. And I think that pretty much recaps anything. Did I leave anything out, guys? Fill me in.
That sounds pretty thorough, I guess. Yeah.
Well, a couple of
That's
things.
pretty much everything I remember.
Yeah, we found out that the guy is lying, that he was never a great warrior. Somehow everyone just conveniently forgot to look on the back of the sword where it says museum replica.
Yeah.
Stamped right on it. And of course, there is our conspiracy theory that it's all the old wives that are getting back at the town now. All the guys in the town just went in on this conspiracy together to get rid of all their old wives so they can get all these children in.
To get a bunch of young wives.
That's right. It's a conspiracy.
It was your Stepford wives theory, wasn't it?
That's the one.
That you guys were convinced on. Okay. And then there was talk of going to the Temple of the God Emperor to go see the grieving widow, possibly Enid, who's listed on there. She's the question marks. You haven't met her yet, so there's no picture for her. And also, her brother-in-law is the pastor, Pastor Wilhelm. But at the end of the recording, Sandow decided to leave that till the morning, and it sounded like you guys were getting ready to head in for the night at this point. Is that where we want to proceed?
I'm good with that.
Sure.
Okay. Well, very good. So you finish interrogating or questioning the locals and slapping them around, and you're starting to to turn in for the night. You guys are finish off the last of your beers and the last of the food that you have, when suddenly the door springs open, and it's that boy again, Klaus, the one who helped you up to your rooms, comes charging in. He comes huffing and puffing and running over your table, and he's trying to catch his breath. And sirs, Maximilian needs to see you. Please come with me. I'll take you to his mansion.
I will not be ambushed, boy. What do you desire from us?
It's not me. It's Maximilian.
I mean, I turn to Sandow. Like, what do you think? You're smarter than me, straight up.
Take a look at the messenger. Obviously, he's out of breath. Does he look frightened?
He looks. Who got? Someone got slapped by Nightbot. Sorry.
I know who that is.
Seth. He look what? Sorry. Frightened. Remember, he is we'll call him special needs. So he looks like he's kind of flustered and in a rush, and this looks like a very important task to him. So he's please, sirs, please come with me. Maximilian has requested your presence. He says it's very important.
I suppose he is our benefactor. Let's suit up. If nothing else, my fine gentleman, he's have better wine at his dwelling than we can find in this establishment.
Oh, that's a good point. He goes, oh, okay. Thank you. I'll take you right there. I'll take you to his mansion. He's waiting for you. I believe the big scary one is there too, and his son.
I'm assuming I've had a few drinks since this is the end of the night.
I'm assuming you have.
So I'll just
more than a few.
So I'll just pull out my bone saw and all right, kid. Whatever it is, I can take care of it. And I'll just start swaying forward.
You see him like dive behind Sandow, and he's kind of standing behind you, Sandow, for cover.
I can fix anything.
So at this point, it's about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So it's dark out. The streets are pretty empty, and he's like rushing ahead of you. He barrels out the door, and you guys get outside, and he's standing there, and he's waiting. He's like, come on. And he's like, gets a few, houses up ahead of you, and he's like waiting as you guys are kind of sauntering through the road. And Waldo, you're kind of stumbling through the road. And please, hurry. There's no waiting. We can't make them wait. And he leads you through the streets to the big mansion that stands out amongst everything else in this village that you guys saw when you came in earlier, when you were kind of being shown around, and it was mentioned that this was Max's mansion. So you're taken to the front porch of this magnificent building. You can tell it is old. It looks like it's been passed down through the generations. It's a very ornate building. And Klaus gets to the front door, and he starts rapping on the door, and it opens, and there's lantern light and candle light coming from inside, and you see a very kind of a very stern looking woman answer the door. And what is it, boy? Oh, I'm back. Maximilian asked me. Oh, fine. And she swings the door open, and she looks at the bunch of you and kind of gives you all the stink eye as you're coming through. And as you enter, you see Helena, and you see your friend BB as you enter, and they're sitting at a table there, and bathed in some lantern light. And this kind of witchy looking woman is ushering you in. Take off your shoes, take off your boots. Don't track in a mess. Get in here. This is an ungodly hour. These girls should be sleeping. I don't know what my brother is doing, having people over here in the middle of the night. Get in here. Get in here. She's getting
all right, man. We'll come.
Don't call me man.
Dude, it's just an expression.
Do I look like a man or a dude to you? She puckers up her face and...
Dude is a gender-neutral term. Perhaps you should reassess your feelings towards it.
I'll pull out my bone saw again. I mean, I can make anyone gender-neutral.
Upstairs. She
How
just
old
points.
does she look?
How old does she look? She looks like she is in her. Let me see if I have an age here.
Older than the cave incident?
Older than the cave incident is a yes. Is an
So
affirmative.
she would be the
Thank
only
God.
one in this town that age that is female.
That you've seen so far.
Interesting. Okay.
Let me just see if we have. I don't think we have a write up or an age for her. So, oh, we do. She is in her mid to late 50s. Mid to late 50s.
Hey, man, you're kind of old.
Ah, what? I beg your pardon? She exclaims.
If you don't calm down, ma'am, he'll start talking about how you're harshing his mellow, and then we'll be trapped in an infinite cycle wherein you insult each other for the rest of the evening.
I will give a big charming smile and say, "Forgive, my friends. We're merely surprised, as you seem to be the only lady in this town with such history behind her, such experience, compared to these young children that seem to be the new wives of the."
She's. Do we want to roll for this? Do we want to make Sandow roll for his tongue, his silver tongue here? Do you want to charm her, Sandow?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
the dice pill.
Trying to calm her down anyway.
Yeah, why don't you do you're playing to her strengths. You're laying it on thick. So I'll make this an easy. It's a +20 charm.
All right, now I got to remember how to use the character sheet. Let's
So you
see.
select the difficulty at the top there and then just hit the corresponding skill that you want to roll.
And what did you say it was? Standard
Charm.
or easy? Easy.
Easy, yeah.
Well, my buttons don't seem to work.
Yeah. Yeah, she goes, oh, she's all taken aback. She looks at the others and, she turns away from the, this right. What is a gentleman like you doing in the presence of this? And she looks at the others, kind of turns up her nose to them. She goes, I was once married off to the priest of the God Emperor in Swansea, the neighboring town. I was not here when the slaughter took place. But I married a desolate, miserly fool who died penniless. So I came back here to live with my brother, my good-for-nothing brother. Marrying these, she turns to Helena, these girls. Can you believe this? Look at that. Look how old she is. This is
I truly
it's
can't
disgusting.
believe that the people of this hellish town do this.
It's disgusting.
Agreed.
Yeah, man, they're old enough to be my granddaughters.
Tell me, Maximilian has summoned us at a late hour. We were about to enter our establishment and to get a bit of rest. What is the problem? What happened?
Now recording.
Oh, we're now recording.
Fancy.
That was distracting.
Someone turned on the recording. That's okay. She goes, I don't know what that. Oh, is that appearing on the stream? Hold on a second. That may have just buggered up all of my overlay.
It sure did.
I can make him leave. I'm sorry.
Make Craig go away. Go away, Craig. There we go.
My bad.
That's okay.
Craig is an important member of this
I can
group.
strip the audio. I can strip the audio off all these sessions and send them to all of y'all. Okay, she goes, I don't know what my good-for-nothing useless brother wants with the group of you. Go upstairs. My nephew's up there, and that Kessler fellow is up there, and I don't know what they want, why they're meeting at this hour of the night. And she points to the
Tell
stairs.
me, for such a shrewd woman that has experienced a lack of a gentlemanly husband who left her penniless, I would expect that you would have been keeping a tight eye on your brother's dealings so as to not further impoverish the family with bad decisions. Could you... And, I just kind of let it trail off and say, we're trying our best to help Maximilian, but it seems that he has reticent to share with us some of his secrets, shall we say, things that are troubling his mind, and I have a suspicion that they may include his financial situation.
Well, that fool has gotten lucky in the last little while and come into some good financials with this hemp crop.
Well, good. You have allayed my fears, good lady.
Yes, it's the only way he was able to get this one. And she kind of lowers her voice and points to Helena over at the table.
Yes, it is a shame. She is so young and inexperienced, but I have met her family. They are a good family. Perhaps it will breed through and she will eventually become a good wife.
Just kind of shrugs at you and lets out a scowl and a hiss.
Right. So yeah, just trying to play up with her.
Butter
just
her
trying
up,
to get
yeah.
her in our good graces. Yep.
No, for sure.
So I thought they said they needed a doctor. Why are we here? I'm ready to doctor and just give me something to cut off.
She's like, is he drunk? Get him. Take him upstairs. He should not be around the women. Take him away.
Wait. If the women are down here, this is where it should be.
You can you see Helena and BB at the table, and BB's like,
You are not helping your cause.
BB's at the table, and if you remember her, you traveled in the cart with the two of them. She's like, she
didn't like me,
and he's disgusting, and get him out of here. Your BB shout from the table.
So does no one need a doctor?
No. You hear a voice from the top of the stairs, and you see Andre Kessler, the guard that was traveling with you guys at the top stairs. It goes, "Oh, are they here? Bring them upstairs, boy, and you'll get your coin." And Klaus says, "Oh, okay. Come on upstairs." And he starts ushering you upstairs and
I'm going because they need a doctor, not because you all told me to go.
He hustles up the stairs, and Andre gives him a couple of brass pennies, and he goes on his way, very, very happy and pleased. And you get to the top of the stairs, and Andre shows you into a small little parlor room. And within it, Maximilian is sitting there in a chair, and Waldman is standing up at the window, kind of looking outside with his back to the group of you. And Andre shows you into the room. And Maximilian, he thanks you for thank you for coming at such a late hour. What have you heard around town in regards to these attacks? And he's smoking a pipe, and he takes a big drag from it, and he sits back in his chair, eagerly waiting to hear what the townspeople are saying.
Man, did you know that all the women here are really young?
Well, yes, it has to do with the attack a number of years ago. Have you met my son, Waldman? And he points to him.
Yeah, goes, man.
Yes, Dad. We met earlier today. Oh, okay. And he takes another drag from his pipe. Oh, it says here that the bodies of Heinrich and Dieter were found. So they're both strung up. We missed that. We were talking about that before the session, and we missed that in the recap. So both his father and son were strung up. He goes, well, after we cut down the bodies, my son here, Waldman, who apparently you met earlier, did some tracking into the Horned Monk, the nearby mountain range, and it seems that the tracks lead in that direction. He's sure the mutants are camping in a cave underneath one of the summits of the Horned Monk. There will be a very strong defensive position there, so I suggest that I'd like to hire the group of you to go out there and do some reconnaissance. I don't want any attacks. I don't want any to to provoke the group. We just need to go out there. We need to see what we're dealing with. We need to know numbers. We need to know mutants, orcs, what it is that is out there that attacked my caravan and killed Dieter and his father Heinrich.
I pat myself down. I look around, and I'll turn to one of you guys and say, I'm sorry. Did someone slap a sign on my back that says adventurer or murder hobo?
Hang on, man. Let me look. And I'll slowly pace around, pondering a little bit too long for the sign here and there.
I can
No, man. I don't see it.
listen. I can pay well. We can't afford to leave the town unguarded. I need all of my guards here. Andre's going to stay here. The other men are going to stay here. That's why we just want a small group to go out with Waldman, who knows that mountain very, very well.
Are we standing like relatively close together? Like, are we huddled in this room?
Yeah, you guys are kind of bunched together near the door you came in, and they just kind of started talking to you.
I'm gonna try and like lightly tug on like Sandow's sleeve or something to gain his attention.
Okay.
And if I can do so subtly enough, I just want to very like slowly, quietly shake my head.
I see. Is your village so devoid of able-bodied men that you would hire a group of entertainers to do such work? I'm not saying we're not beyond this task. It's just not really our thing.
Well, like I said, we can't really afford the men. If there are numbers as great as we think camping out there on the mountain range, we need to prepare, and I can't afford to send any of my men out. Like I said, I'm not looking for you to attack them or go after them or scare them away. We just want to know what is out there. That's all I'm asking of you.
You would rather risk our lives than your own.
Waldman steps forward with that and he goes, I know these mountain ranges well. Your life is not at risk. Once we get close to the overlook, I will personally go forward and I will look into it. I just ask for you to accompany me in case there's any trouble along the way.
Now, there are some that might call me a pessimist, but I would say that this all seems incredibly dubious. Like, you're just asking your son to follow us to a cliff where assuredly nothing bad will happen. Do you understand how this notion, at least, is coming across to me?
You know, I get it. I get it. It seems weird, but think of it this way. All right, and I walk over to Waldman. This is a man named Wald, and I am a man named Wald. So we should do it.
Neither of those things are true.
I think
Your
it's a
name
sign.
Is Waldo, and his name is Waldman.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Alright.
saying.
Well, regardless of the point you are so eloquently making, I do not trust the situation in any regard. And I just looked to Sandow like, I mean, am I being fucked up? Am I wrong? I looked at Kozel like, is this weird? Am I being dumb?
Well, I must say that I am intrigued with what has been going on in this village in its storied past. It would make a very good epic song to relay on our wanderings and our entertainings. Perhaps having some first-hand view of the action might help in the writing.
I suppose you wish that the end of your song be the moment when this man's child pushes me off of a ledge and kills me, and then you slay him in my name.
You got to admit it, make a good tale.
A great finale to your epic.
With this, Andre, you see, is starting to get like visibly agitated. He's like, "You fools! This damn village is in danger, and you can't even go out there and do some simple reconnaissance. I told Maximilian not to trust a lot of you.
Well, Andre, you're also standing here not doing it just as much as we are. You're just much more red in the face than we are. So, I mean, maybe you
village
should
needs-
relax about this whole
This village needs a warrior, and that is why I must stay here. Otherwise, I would accompany Waldman. And while this is all going on, why don't you guys go ahead and make me a routine awareness check. Test. A routine.
I'm sorry, awareness?
Yes, please.
What's up?
So Blort, Waldo.
I can't seem to get the buttons to work for the correct
Weird.
difficulty, so I just rolled it.
Okay. Blort and Waldo, you guys notice while like all of this is going on, and whenever Waldman's speaking, and even now during this exchange, he's sitting there and he's like tinkering the whole time and just kind of playing with the talisman around his neck that you guys noticed last time as well.
Wasn't that like his mother's talisman or something? Did we ask him about that?
Yeah, you asked him about it, and it was from his it's like the last remaining remnant from his mother. It was a gift from his mother. So Andre's getting all worked up and upset with you, Blort. He's shouting.
Andre, I at least am willing to go.
I
just
too
to
would be
satisfy
willing
my
to go.
curiosity, and yes, for a bit of coin. My companions and myself, however, have drunk heavily this night, not knowing that we'd be pressed into such service.
No. I would not. I would not ask you to go on this eve. No, you are a guest tonight. You enjoy your stay here. You leave first thing in the morning, though. My son, he will meet you at the inn, and he knows a secret way up the Horned Monk that will lead you there, and hopefully you guys will be able to get some more information for us and come back and tell us what is going on up there in those hills.
Hey, man, when you meet us in the morning, you should bring me a flask of lantern oil, man.
I will not be meeting you in the morning, but and he turns to Waldman, and Waldman just kind of nods to you. Kozel. Oh, okay.
All right.
And we will be traveling during the day, he says, kind of bewildered.
I turned
Yeah.
to Kozel. I'm like, would you mind just giving me a brief? Like, you give me a rundown of what you believe is happening here, Kozel. What have you perceived from this situation personally? And explain it to me now.
We gotta go find the ladies, man. So we're gonna go count how many are still in the
Yeah,
cave.
see, like, guys, we are, I mean, obviously the most well-suited for this adventure. Let's go. Who cares if we fall off the cliff? We'll be fine. Everything is going to be perfect with this, obviously.
Yeah, I still need that lantern oil though, man.
Waldman
I mean,
nods
I'm
to-
ready to go now. I'm awake. Let's do this.
But are you sober?
Sober as a tree.
Hey,
I-
man, he's gotta have some drink. It steadies his hands.
Andre says,
Oh yeah, and I pull up my bone saw and it's just like swaying. I'm steady as a tree.
Andre says, that man needs to sleep this off. Get him back to the Cowardly Orcs and we'll see you in the morning. And he's just getting more and more agitated. And Maximilian's just sitting in his chair and goes, okay. Well, Waldman will meet you in the morning.
I mean, I guess I could use a nap.
And
Why
let
did you choose to rouse us from our bed chambers to give us this information as opposed to telling us in the morning when we would be traveling?
Andre goes, from what I understand, you were in a sleep.
I mean, do you normally hand out your tasks late in the evening? That just seems, I don't know. I don't understand this culture whatsoever. You are all in love with 12-year-olds. Like, what is going on here, truly?
We've been discussing our next moves, and we finally came to agreements at this hour. We figured it best to leave first thing in the morning so you can climb the mountain and get to the overlook of where we believe they are staying. It is going to be a half day's travel there and a half day travel back.
So you saw that we were all intoxicated and knew that we would be less than at our best in the morning, and decided that would be a perfect time to send us off alone into the woods to face an unknown enemy.
All right, Blort. All right, so the point is that this is a man named Wald, and I am a man named
I
Wald.
leave the guy.
And that's why they came for us, because we're both men named Wald.
Andre interrupts. Get out! And he points to the door and starts like shuffling you out. And Maximilian's just in his chair. Thank you. I can't thank you enough for agreeing to help. My son will meet you in the morning.
All right, so who needs me to let some blood?
So you're ushered downstairs by Andre, and you guys get to the bottom of the stairs. The women folk are now gone. They're no longer sitting there at the table, and he instructs you to get your. He kicks you out the door with your shoes and boots in your hand. You're out standing. You're kicked out onto the porch, and the door slams and locks behind you. A very grumpy Andre.
It's awfully rude, man.
I know, right? You guys are like guests here. This is how they treat you. It's
If I
terrible.
had some lantern oil, I'd teach them a thing, man.
Watch it burn.
What is your obsession with this lantern oil, Kozel? I am quite curious.
If you huff it, it gets you this crazy high, and it's actually good as an anesthetic.
Man, I only put natural things in my body, man.
Lantern oil is as natural as lantern oil can be.
Are you a snake
You need
oil
a-
salesman or are you a surgeon? A barber surgeon?
Who, me?
I only use the best medicine, is what I'm saying.
Alright, so you guys wander through the streets back to the Cowardly Orcs, the local tavern, named after the slaughter that Horst did here many years ago. And you have your rooms, and you head down for the night. You guys spend the evening, or the night, in the Cowardly Orcs. You're woken in the morning by a knock at the door at first light, and you hear the voice of Klaus calling to you. He's here. Please, we must not make him wait. And then he scurries on down the stairs. You guys, yeah, it's been a very short night after all of this. So you guys go down.
Mornings are best enjoyed by still being awake the night before.
Upon going down the stairs, you see Waldman sitting at one of the tables with Andre, and they're breaking breakfast together, breaking bread. And as you guys enter the room, Andre stands up and says a few words into Waldman's ear, and lays a hand on his shoulder and pats his back and leaves the building as you guys make your way down the stairs. Waldman greets you. Oh, thank you for getting up at this ungodly hour. I know it's early, but we must start out. This is going to be a full day's journey there and back. So, why don't we have some delicious hot breakfast, which has been prepared for us? And he kind of puts his arm up and calls out to Klaus, bring them some food and some drink. And you guys are given a fantastically warm meal. If you had lost any peril, I think some of you guys had on your peril track from the night before, that's all been recovered now. So everything's back to full for peril loss. So make sure you note that. While you're sitting
Should
there,
we be at 0 peril
you
then?
should be at 0, yeah.
Gotcha.
Kozel, he brings up a container and puts it down on the table and goes, "Here's that lamp oil you requested last night."
All right, man. I
Slides
take it
it.
and I tuck it into
Okay.
a pocket in my robe.
Okay, yeah, he slides it to you. You don't
Thanks,
start
man.
don't start huffing it or anything.
No, man. I'm saving it for later, man.
Watch the world burn. So he finishes his breakfast and he waits on the group of you and he says, "Okay, we should head out. We should get going as early as possible. Are you all prepared for a little bit of climbing?"
Well, sure, as ready
I
as...
just climbed down the stairs, man.
He gives you all like a length of 50 feet of rope. That he has also on the bench next to him at the table, and hands it to all of you. And so, okay, well then let's set out.
Wait. What am I supposed to do with this?
Well, we're going to be doing some moderate climbing. We are going up a mountain.
I'm just going to start rubbing my temples and shaking my head.
So with that, you guys, he leads you out of the village. The gates open, and it's like the crack of dawn at this point, and you guys head out into the fields.
Wait, we don't get any carriages or horses.
No,
we have to walk the whole way.
And Wallman goes, no, we must be quiet. We can't have horses or carriages. We don't want to alert any attention to ourselves. There haven't been any reports of road wardens noticing activity of mutants or orcs in the nearby areas. So that tells us that they must have been traveling through the forest. So we, too, need to be quiet through the forest.
Okay, Sandow, you know I would never ask you for anything, ever. But you're a big ogre, and I'm a small halfling, and I'm super tired. So can you just, like, give me a lift?
Carry me. Sandow will not entertain this, I guess, with an answer.
Sorry, Sandow's microphone was not working. Whatever you think is best, sure.
All right, so you just hoist up Waldo onto your shoulders or whatever.
Yes.
And you guys head out. So you guys make your way through the nearby fields, because as you remember, there was fields all around this small town. It is harvest time. So you walk a short way through the fields, and you right away you enter a forest. Go ahead and make me, everybody make me an easy survival test as you enter the forest.
Where is survival?
Under perception.
Oh, skipped right over it.
Ooh, look at you. Yeah, that's a crit success. You guys all succeed except for Blurt. So the guys who succeed, it's all right. It's not a major test. You are able to tell that this area is cultivated for firewood and fruit and for pigs to roam in. And actually, Kozel, with your crit success, you find a very lush apple tree, and you're able to pick a number of apples for the trip that are perfectly ripe. You fill your bag and your pockets and all that. You call the others over and say, "Hey, here's some good food for the trip. Why don't we stock up?"
Hey, man, I found some food. It's not mushrooms, but it's still pretty good.
I don't want to eat firewood.
No, man, and I'll hand you an apple. It's firewood fruit.
Firewood fruit. It
Yeah.
looks like an apple.
It's an apple, man.
It's an apple. So you guys carry on, and the sun is slowly coming up more and more. It was still a little bit dark when you set out, but you've been traveling now for about an hour or so, and dawn has completely struck, and it is fully light now when you guys come across a cottage, a small cottage in a clearing. And Wallman goes, "Oh, well, that's old Tom and Lady Ursula's cabin. Why don't we stop in and see if they've seen or heard anything with these recent reports of orcs and mutants in the area?"
Don't you mean to see if they're dead, man?
He's kind of taken back, but I should certainly hope not. But yeah, I suppose. And he makes his way over, and the cottage it's well tended, and it looks like there's been people here recently, and it looks like it's lived in. It doesn't look like there's any sort of like signs of struggle or anything like that. Everything seems to be in order. And Waldman kind of peeks through the window in this early hour and doesn't see anybody milling about, and he kind of taps at the door, and there's no There's no answer. And he kind of shrugs. He goes, "Oh, it appears it's unoccupied right now. Maybe they headed to Swansea for some trade."
Yeah, man. Let's go with that. That's nice.
Unoccupado.
Well, do you wanna look around? He asks.
Yeah, I better poke my head in case I can help. Is there anyone inside?
Yeah, you poke your head in there. There doesn't seem to be anyone inside. There doesn't seem to be any sort of signs of a struggle or anything. It looks like there was someone here maybe a day or two ago, and it's just kind of been left the way it was.
If I'm going in alone, then I'm gonna do a brief search for alcohol.
Oh yeah, you find a bottle of hooch.
Yeah, I'll just pocket that. Anything valuable while I'm looking? Not that I would ever take it. I'm just curious, like how
Nothing
rich
really
these
valuable.
people
There's
are.
like ropes and arrows, traps, torches, food. Nothing.
Yeah, I don't need any of that.
Just everyday common household items that you'd find out on a farm or in a cabin where these folks live.
Yep, it's empty, guys. We better keep going.
All right, man.
Any signs of trouble? Like, I mean, it looks perfectly normal. Doesn't look like they've been invaded, anything like that.
Oh, no. I'm sure they're just at work or something. Where do they work?
Waldman says, "Here. This is their cottage." And
Oh, well, then they're probably just on vacation.
yes, like I said, they probably made a trip to Swansea.
Yeah, man. A
Yeah.
long vacation.
Sure. We should continue on. We've still got quite a trek ahead of us. So he continues on through the forest, and you guys are getting closer and closer and closer to this quote unquote mountain range. It's more of a, like I said earlier, a large hill, but it's been dubbed a mountain, and it's known as the Horned Monk because of the almost like bald patch at the top of it, where there's no trees or anything growing. And you guys travel through the day, and it's actually very, very uneventful. And you travel for about half the day, and you guys make your way to the foot of the Horned Monk. So you guys get to the edge of this thing, and you're kind of peeking around. You're following Waldman, and he suddenly disappears on you, and you're unable to locate him.
Well, I guess that's that. Time to go home.
And and with that, you hear a call from above. He goes, "Hey, shh! I'm up here." And you guys round a corner, and you see a rocky outcrop. And it looks like you can clamber up this little rocky outcrop. It's about 6 yards above. And he goes, up here. This is where we need to go. This is the secret way up here. And he kind of motions you all.
Let's
up.
go.
Do you guys have athletics, or I should ask? Does anybody not have athletics?
Yeah, that's got my number all over it.
I don't think I have athletics.
Sandow has athletics. I see.
Not me.
I'd have to have a dot next to it, right?
Right.
I do not have athletics.
Blort, are you an athletic fella? No. So Sandow, you can clamber up this no problem, but without any rolls or anything. But the rest of you are going to have to make a routine athletics test.
Could I not dangle a rope and just haul them up like fish?
You could do that.
Being an ogre, after all.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask that. And we could, make them make rolls and lose some peril here. But yes, we could do that. That's yes. That is plausible.
Killer DM here.
Well, you guys, come on! I can't give you all of the breadcrumbs.
I expect we've done this exact maneuver before, but we've had to make a quick getaway from an establishment out of like a second or third story window.
Normally we're going down instead of up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys make your way up, and you're now climbing up the mountain, and there's like little paths. Like this isn't like a sheer, like straight up K2 mountain range. Like this is, like I said, it's a large hill. So you guys are making your way up there, and that first little bit was the worst of the climbing. And now you guys are making your way up, and you guys march for about an hour or so, and Waldman, he signals to you, and he goes, we're almost at the tree line. There's a tree line overlooking the cave that we believe that they're staying at. So we'll be up on the overlook, and it's just beyond the ridge up ahead is where I believe the orcs encampment is. We need to be very quiet. Like I said, I'll be the one who will go up there and take a peek. You don't need to danger yourselves. And with that, I'm going to get you all to make me a standard eavesdrop test.
Ouch.
Ooh. Oh! After these rolls, this reminds me something that there's a mechanic we haven't been using that we'll also implement. Sandow succeeded. Blort?
He was having mic troubles. He may not be back yet.
Aw, Blort. Okay, so but while we're waiting for Blort, I'll also tell you this. I forgot about this since session 1. This is a core mechanic of the game. You guys have fortune points to use every session. So you have the number of fortune points equal to the number of players plus 1. So you guys have 5 fortune points every session. You get them at the beginning of every session. They don't carry over or anything like that. But what you get to do is you can use these to re-roll a failed skill test. You can use one to gain an additional action point in combat. Or you can use one to treat a Chaos or Fury die as a face of 6. And if you remember from the rules, if you roll a 6 on a d6, it explodes. You get to roll again and add it onto the previous total. So you guys have 5 of these fortune points every session, so you can cash them in. Now the thing is, when you cash them in, they then become misfortune points, and I get to use them for my benefit. And then once I use them, they disappear. It's not like Star Wars where it goes back and forth with light side, dark side points. So that's something to keep in mind if you fail a roll in this session, you really want to make it, or if it's really important. You do have these fortune points. You have 5 of them at your disposal.
Yeah, I'll use one.
You want to drop one here and give me a misfortune? Okay.
Yeah, if it's allowed.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
Where's my token that I use for fortune, misfortune? I think I had a skull somewhere.
I don't see it on the character sheet.
No, I'm going through my tokens here and roll 20. The people on stream just get to see a long list of things that I'm scrolling through. Yeah, so go ahead and re-roll.
Was this based on hearing?
Yes, eavesdrop test. So
It's a reroll with no new modifiers, right?
correct. Here we go.
Oh. I got 1 point better.
So copy. You guys can see those tokens too.
Yeah.
I'll just put those as our fortune points.
I'm not gonna make that. I got that crop ear feature. So
And there's
I'm gonna.
and I got 1 misfortune. There we go. Represented on the board.
I mean, can I just let it ride and keep going until I pass?
You can, but you're gonna spend all of the team's fortune points, and I don't know if they really want you to do that.
Hey man, you gotta keep it spicy.
I mean, this is why my wife doesn't like me going to Vegas, because I keep going.
We'll say I don't know how the group feels, but maybe you've spent your fortune point
Group?
so far.
You know what? For shits and giggles, I'm cool with it.
You want to let them roll again?
That's majority of people with microphones.
There you go.
Bert's here too.
Hey, I made it.
All right, 2 misfortune. All right, so you made it. Did anybody critically succeed? No, you just succeeded, both of you. So as Waldman is explaining that there's a tree line up ahead, and on the other side of that tree line is the ledge, or the edge, or the ridge, I should say. The ridge to look down on where they believe the camp is. You hear someone or something behind you in the bush.
Well, look.
You don't see anything. You can just hear some noise behind you, and Waldman goes, What is it?
Okay, just kind of point to the bush.
He nods, and he just kind of motions to like stop, points to stay here, and you see him. He slips like silently off into the bush, like without making any sort of noise, just disappears. And after a few minutes later, you hear a shout. Ah! Let me go! And you see Waldman
Run.
from behind you. You see Waldman drag Klaus out from behind the bush, the boy from the tavern. And Waldman goes, "What are you doing, boy? You fool! You're gonna get killed. You're gonna get us killed." He goes, "Well, Waldman, you're my hero, and I'm here to help. I want to do what I can to help out. I don't mean to be any bother. You please don't send me back. It's too dangerous." And Waldman's looking just like completely flustered. He looks at the group of you, like kind of throws his arms, like, "What do we do? What do we do? What do we do with this?"
More the merrier, man.
We can't send him home now. You make too much noise.
All right. He goes begrudgingly, "All right, fine. Klaus, you stay here. Stay at the back behind all of us. This is dangerous. We're almost at the camp, I believe. All right, we need to go in there up to the tree line. I need you guys to accompany me, and from there, once we get to the ridge, I'll go in ahead of my by myself." You wasted 2 fortune points. Is Blort back?
I don't think so.
Oh, Blort. For this moving forward to the tree line, what is your marching order going to be? Waldman goes, "I'm going to go first, and the rest of you follow me." So who's going to go behind Waldman?
I like Waldman, so I'll follow him.
You'll go behind him?
I'll be behind.
I'm a warrior, through and through. So
Yes, you are. Yeah. So yes.
I'll follow after Bert then.
All right, and then behind you is, we'll say, Blort and then Klaus. So you guys start making your way up through this clearing towards the tree line, which is right before the ridge. I need you, Waldo, to make me an easy awareness test.
on it. Ew.
Okay. So, you see, briefly, up ahead, Wallman's unaware, but you see around him a shadowy outline of a figure, and it looks like they're holding something. And suddenly, a arrow flies towards Waldman and sinks into him.
Shit!
Or
Mutants!
you- or you-
Mutants! Mutants!
You see an arrow flying towards him. What do you have a moment to react. What do you want to do?
I'm going to get behind cover because I don't want the arrow to hit me by accident.
All right.
I mean, I'm a hero, and if I'm not around, I won't be able to save other people. So I have to protect myself first.
Yeah. So, do you shout anything? Do you shout mutants? Or do you
Mutants!
shout arrows?
Mutants! Mutants!
So
And then I
Waldman
jump
starts
behind
shouting
cover.
mutants, and he dives behind the nearest large rock that he can find in this clearing. And Waldman turns and goes, "Huh?" And this thing sinks, boom, right square into his forehead, and he falls over.
Waldman! I'm gonna army crawl over to him and pull out my bone saw and see what I can do.
You hear a howl or a wail come from the tree line, and you see a figure break off and start to run through the forest area.
Away from us, right?
Yes. So we have the opportunity, if you want to.
I want to throw some knives at it before it gets to warn others.
So we can enter a chase here, and you can try to get after this guy before he gets towards the others. So we didn't do a chase. We almost had a chance for the chase in the first session with the ladies on the shoulders with the cabbages and the bride for the night, but it never ended up playing out. So we'll do a chase scene now. So the way chases work is there's an escapee and a pursuer. In this case, obviously, you're the pursuers, and this thing that fired the arrow and just kind of shot an arrow right into Waldman's forehead is our escapee. So this is going to be a short chase. It's only going to be 3 rounds. And the way it works is you guys are placed below the escapee on the track. There's a chase track. And what you do is you figure out your initiative. We do it in order of initiative. So it's a D10 plus your initiative score on your character sheet. So go ahead and do that now.
I don't think I would actually chase. I would try to hang out with Waldman and pull out the arrow.
Okay. You hear, as soon as this happens, Klaus screams, "Oh!"
Maybe if I amputate his forehead, it'll save him. I don't know.
Maybe. Does anybody want to take chase after this thing? Sandow, did you want to?
Yeah, like I said, I'm going to try and take him down before he can warn others. So as soon as I get a shot, I'm throwing some knives at him.
Kozel, did you want to chase after this thing?
I'll follow Sandow. Maybe not entirely sure of why we're running, but if Sandow runs, I know it's usually a good idea to run. Where is
Are your knees up to it?
We're going to find out. Where's the initiative on the sheet?
I believe it's on the second tab in the middle. Let me just go to your character sheet here with you. Talents and trappings. Initiative. Oh yeah, 8. So roll a d10 and add 8 to it for Kozel. Kozel.
So what are we rolling for here? Initiative?
Initiative, yeah. And this is where how fast you're going to be, or who's going to act first in this chase.
Right, so what's it based on again?
It is, you roll a d10 and add your initiative score onto that. So Sandow's is a 8. So roll a d10 and plus 8. Not too shabby. Those are good scores. Boop. All right, so this thing breaks off. And interesting. We got 3 rounds. So the escapee always rolls first, no matter what, because they have a head start, and you're trying to catch up to them. So So what we do now is you roll within initiative order a d10 plus your movement. So your movement, I believe, is also found in the same area that your initiative was. Yes. So like Kozel, yours is a 6. Sandow, yours is a 5. So you'd roll a d10 and add whatever your movement is. So I will roll this thing's first. It's got a 12. So you want to try and beat that. And that means that you're getting closer in this chase sequence. You're gaining on them. So Sandow does not get any...
Now, but again, I don't need to catch him to throw daggers at him. So.
You don't need to, but you need to gain on him. So he does have a head start right now. Okay. Let's roll the next round. So he starts running and he kind of gets, it looks like he gets a little hung up on the brush in this forested area. And Kozel, you start to close the gap towards him.
All right, man.
As well does Sandow. So I will let you throw a dagger or a ranged weapon at him at this point right now, Sandow. But because everybody's moving, I will set the difficulty at hard.
All right, fair. I'm just gonna do a straight roll. I can't set the difficulty for some reason.
Okay.
Wow.
Whoa. Okay.
Damn.
You find your mark. You hit. Do you have your throwing dagger or whatever programmed on your character sheet?
I think so. Let me see.
Can you hit the macro for that? Is that going to work? Otherwise, let me grab my. I think I have the GM screen printed here with all the gear and equipment, and I'll find a dagger on there.
Yes, I have it.
Okay. So it does a d6, so you could even just roll this. Well, oh, okay, it's got that all built in. Oh, damage 7. Okay, so all I'm taking is the damage from it, because I'm taking your other roll.
Right.
So it rolled your d6 and added on your attack bonus damage, so it does 7 damage to him. And a throwing knife, I'm just looking at the qualities, because the qualities is really what makes the weapons stand out and are different in this game.
I've got them. It's fast, finesse, and throwing.
So now it's a matter of finding what those do. There we go. Fast, finesse, and throwing.
Yes.
Okay, that just affects the chance to dodge or parry, but he's not attempting to because he's trying to get away from you for fast. Finesse. You do AB instead of CB when dealing damage. I hovered over your character sheet, and that's already programmed in there correctly. And I'm sorry, what was the last one? Throwing?
Yes, throwing.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so it finds its mark, and I'm gonna say it sinks into one of its legs, and this thing falls to the ground and starts to howl in pain, gripping at the back of its leg where your throwing dagger found its mark. And you see this thing just kind of this large mass rolling back and forth in the I was gonna say the desert, in the forest, screeching in pain. Oh, get it out!
Now that we can see him clear, is he carrying a bow or a crossbow? I mean, so our guy was hit with an arrow, you said.
It was, yes, so he is carrying a bow, and he's got
okay.
he's got a little sword at his side also. And as you get closer, you see this thing withering back and forth, and it's just this powerfully built being. Its skin is sallow, and it's got big, heavy brows topped with a sloped forehead, which tapers off into a head of sparse, greasy black hair. And he's got a pronounced underbite with 2 overly large, sharp teeth poking over his top lip, and a nose that's almost snout-like. And these deep-set, black, piggish eyes. More swine than human. Let's see, do I have a picture of this? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you see this thing withering in pain. Oh! They'll come and get you! They'll come and get you! Mother! We'll kill you!
Yeah, so we're running to catch up to him and try and get him to shut up.
Mm-hmm. Because he's screaming right now.
Yeah, so yeah, if he's just down, I'm gonna just start beating the crud out of him.
Yeah, yeah. You start beating on him, and
I'll slide on the knuckle dusters.
hog tie him and put some rope in his mouth, kind of thing. Yeah, because he's
while Sandow's beating him, I want to go up and pull the sword and the bow and arrows off of him. Toss him to the
for
side.
for sure. Okay, so you have this thing tied up. Do you want to drag him back to the others
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Waldo
drag
is?
him
And
back.
Waldo, you've back there with Klaus, and Klaus is like inconsolable right now. He's just bawling and I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna go kill them. I'm gonna kill whoever did this. And you see through the tree line, Sandow and Kozel come back, and they're dragging, or I don't know, pushing along this guy, this big lumbering thing. He's thin and built, so he's not necessarily fat, but he's muscular build, but still thinnish looking. You see this thing that they're leading out, and with that, Klaus just launches towards them, and he draws a dagger, and he starts running towards Sandow and Kozel. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill it for killing Waldman. And he just runs towards the group
Klaus,
of you,
wait. We need information.
waving a dagger in the air, and he's just barreling at you guys with his eyes wide with like bloodlust.
So I take it I was not able to save Waldman.
No, you kind of cut into him a little
I have
bit.
failed as a barber surgeon.
You cut the arrow off, and you're made a
I
few
applied pressure to the wound. That didn't help.
Made a few incisions here or there, but he was DOA. As soon as you made your way over to him, you're like, yeah, this guy's dead.
Did he have a flask of alcohol on him? Just, as I was checking for further wounds.
He did not.
Well, he wasn't worth saving anyways. Okay. I guess I'll follow Klaus after he takes...
Yeah, he did not. So Klaus is barreling towards Sandow and Kozel, and he's not listening to you, Sandow, and he's just running at you, screaming, waving this dagger in the air.
I would just get between him and the creature then.
Okay, so you get between the two of them. You're a very large fellow, so I'm not going to make you roll or anything. You're able to restrain this boy. He is like a 12-year-old boy, but he's crying. I'm gonna kill him for shooting Waldman.
Sure, we'll do that.
Hero.
But we will do it later, after finding out if there are more of them and whatever this thing else may tell us.
Okay. So this thing is just kind of like staring at Klaus, and you lead him towards Waldman and Waldo, which is weird to say, and he's bleeding pretty profusely from the back of his leg, and you hear him through the gag, and there's like blood dripping down, and there's dirt and stuff mixed in it, and he's kind of holding it out and motioning like.
I can take care of it, and I'll go and try to inspect the leg.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, make me a barber surgeon roll. I don't know
What would that be?
Is there a medicine skill?
I think so.
I think so, and I think you have it.
Heal.
Yeah, go ahead and make.
So what difficulty?
Oh, this is not going to be too difficult. It's a pretty clean wound. He's a willing subject. We'll make it an easy roll.
So I do amputate the leg then.
Is that the plan? I'll just put.
I mean, if it looks like there's any dirt in it, the only way to prevent infection is to amputate.
So you got like your tourniquet and everything ready. You're just like roll.
Tourniquet comes after. I don't like cutting through the tourniquet accidentally, so I use the bone saw first, and then I put the tourniquet on.
Tools, and you have everything sitting there ready. All right, so you pull out your bone saw, and his eyes widen like.
This has to be done. You will die if I don't do this.
Start to cut, and he howls in pain.
And I'm quick about it. I can do it in like 4 passes.
Yeah, shove something in his mouth, a branch or something, just to keep him from yelling.
Yeah, he's just like moaning in pain and screeching, and
when I'm done, I want to make sure that he knows I saved his life.
And Waldo's just like cutting right into it. And,
well, like right above, I got to get above the wound for the infection.
So we'll say like the injury was in his calf, so you're amputating the lower
just
part,
below the knee,
and it's a very clean cut with a roll like that, and you're very pleased with your handiwork, and you get your tourniquet ready, and you.
I give him a grin. I just saved your life.
Stop the bleeding. And...
You killed my friend, and I still saved your life.
Why don't you So while you're operating, Waldo, I almost called you Waldman. You notice wrapped around his loincloth, or hanging off his loincloth, is a talisman.
Whew, thought you were going a different direction there.
Just like the one you saw around Waldman's neck.
I'll grab at it.
And he puts up even more of a struggle for that.
This is payment.
Hey, man. That jewelry matches, man.
I do think I've seen it before.
On the guy with the arrow in his head next to you?
Yeah, I'm going to walk back over to Waldman.
Where have I seen one of these before? Yeah, you go over to Waldman, you grab the one off his neck, and yeah, they're almost identical.
All right, I'm going to take both of them.
Okay. Waldman does not put up a fight.
I'll go back to the mutant or whatever he is, and what is this?
He's gagged.
No. Speak clearly. What is this? I just saved your life, and you can't even talk clearly? This is ridiculous. And I'm going to start drinking. I can't put up with this.
Hey, man. Maybe we should, take the stuff out of his mouth, man.
No, he needs that for the pain.
Oh. Yeah, you're right, man.
You know what? Give him your lamp oil, and then we can take the guy.
No. I'll give him some mushrooms, though, man.
No, that'll mess with his head.
Yeah, no, I need the lamp oil, man. I can't share any.
All right, just take the gag out for a second, and then we'll put it back in for the pain.
All right, I'll take the gag out.
Take the gag out and question him.
All right, so what are these symbols?
Well, this is going to trigger a social encounter. So, do you guys remember how that worked the last time we did it?
We all pick a skill and how we're using it and
Right.
roll some stuff.
And we determine the questions also you want to ask him going in. So based off successes and things like that is also going to determine what he answers. So you choose a skill underneath fellowship. So you want to say whether or not you want to bargain with him, you want to charm him, you want to be guiling, if you want to under willpower. Interrogate, resolve, I guess charm, bargain. Yeah, you have to choose one of those social ones.
What if I want to leader him?
Leader him? No.
All right, we'll go charm then. What difficulty?
It will be. So what's your social status?
Lowborn.
Yeah, except for Sandow, we're all lowborn.
I did just save his life though, so I feel like that should bump me up one. I mean,
I just noticed something. You can't interrogate someone unless you've got the skill. It's one of the skills that you have to have trained.
Interrogate.
So you literally cannot beat the crap out of somebody and question them, unless, because how are you charming them if you've got them tied up and you're beating them?
You're right. So our options are bargain, charm, guile, interrogation if you have it, intimidate, leadership.
I'm not tying him up and beating him. I tied him up and saved his life. All right, so that's charm.
Leadership or rumor. And this will be done at a +10 for everybody. Even Sandow.
That's routine.
Yeah. So who's rolling what skill? It doesn't matter. I guess you're rolling it now. But what do you want to ask him? What do you want to get out of him? Let's go through the list of questions.
I'm trying to figure out why they were both wearing the same symbol.
Okay.
We need to know numbers, and we need to know what they want with the town, because they are intimidating the town by posting that guy up front where everyone was going to see.
Oh, don't be so practical about your questions.
I want to know who Mother is.
Mommy, dearest.
Yeah.
And what's it got in its pockets?
What you got in your pockets?
Who's your daddy and what does he do? So we've got a charm roll, which was successful. I like
yeah.
it.
I did save his life.
Mhm,
What should
very-
I roll for who is mother?
Well, it depends on how you're asking.
That is like, hey man, like I've heard of mother before, but I need to know if
wanna
we're
spend a
talking about
fortune?
the same mother, man.
Is he talking about your mom?
You talking about my
Ooh.
mom, man?
Do either of you want to spend a fortune point?
Do it.
Actually, I will make that roll if he's of a lower social class.
He is of a lower
It's actually-
social class. Yep.
That would be a main role, a maid role. So I'm asking, and you're trying to be calm about it, giving the impression that he may get out of this alive if he answers our questions. How many of them? How many are you? How many is your tribe?
He goes, there's hundreds and hundreds of orcs in our group. I'll say that you can go ahead and make me a, you can make me
I'm just
a,
going to assume he's lying because if they had hundreds and hundreds, they could have just easily overran the village.
yeah, you can also, if you want, you can make me an easy folklore test when he says that.
Sure, what's folklore under? Actually, there's not a folk. Oh, yeah, there it is. Intelligence. Sure. Yeah, I
Okay.
make it.
Yeah, you make it. So you have heard that orcs, it's unusual for them to use numbers beyond 1 or 2 or loads and loads and loads and loads. So for him to say hundreds and hundreds, you're like, okay, well, yeah, you're an orc. So you don't really know what you're talking about. You don't know numbers. If he's asked about the talisman, he refuses at first. No. And then he just kind of mutters under his breath. Mother gave it to me.
But what is it? What is the symbol?
I don't know. Mother gave it to me. Mother knows best. Mother knows best. He says, and just kind of rocks in place.
She didn't tell you anything about what it means?
Looking at this orc, you guys notice that he is not a fully matured adult. You notice more that this might be a bit of a kid. Like, he's an orc, so he's large, but he's probably he's younger in age.
All right. Look, I just saved your life. All right, you would have died. That infection would have spread. You would have had no chance. Just tell me what the symbol means.
Yeah, I don't know. Mother gave it to me. Mother knows best.
And she didn't tell you what the symbol means.
No, she gave it to me at birth.
Hey man,
You don't have an image of what the symbol actually looks like, do you?
I don't. I had described it in the first session. Let me see here. Waldman's talisman is of copper and silver wire intertwined to form a crude figure, and that's it. So it's nothing fancy. This isn't like forged.
Okay.
Intertwined.
Where did Waldman get it?
It was a gift from his mother.
Okay. I'm beginning to
man.
think our Stepford Wives theory is
But
more and
is
more.
what he said previously.
yeah.
And yeah, he just kind of I don't know.
So why'd you kill my friend over there?
Go ahead and make me a challenging scrutinize test. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you, all of you, go ahead and make me a challenging scrutinize. Yee.
Nope.
You're just like, extremely happy that you got to use your bone saw. That's all Waldo's.
I really am.
Challenging scrutinize. Ooh. Ooh.
I would have used it on Waldman's forehead if I couldn't use it on this guy.
Oh, match. Oh, it's a critical fail.
Oh.
Well,
Oh no.
we do have some fortune points, and we've got 20 minutes left in the session. So
Yeah, might as well. I'll burn one.
Yeah, I will too. To get what is a reroll?
Yeah, give yourself a reroll. There you go.
Ooh.
Well, Kozel just made it. Kozel, you
Rolled again.
and yeah, you look between Waldman and you look between this thing, and you're like, there's some passing similarities between these two and their facial structures.
Oh man. These two are like father and son, man. Where's your mom at, dude?
His mother's at camp,
Where's the camp?
and he points to the forest line towards the ridge where Waldman said it was. Mother's there. Mother will
Hey.
zap you.
Hey man, I think that you just killed your dad.
No, that's not my father. He looks at that human.
Ah, but is he your brother?
I don't have a brother, I have a sister. My sister will come looking for me soon, too.
Hey man, does your mom look like you or does she look like us?
He looks kind of at you guys after a while and looks down his skin, and he looks up at you, and she looks more like you.
She's that short.
Well, I guess just to you,
Kozel, yeah.
Kozel, yeah, she looks more like you, because it doesn't look anything like Sandow or a larger version of Waldo.
Hey man, we were right. It's the old ladies coming back for revenge.
He goes, "That's right. Mother told us that they deserve it. They should all die. All of the villagers. They deserve they deserve to die."
All right, man. Case closed. Let's go home.
Wait, they deserve to die. I just saved your life, and I came from that village.
Well,
What else did Mother tell you? Why do they deserve to die?
Mother didn't say why we came to the village. She just said it was the right thing to do. And when those stupid orcs, when they eat Mother's stew, they do what she says.
Oh, so she's a good cook.
Yeah, those are stupid orcs.
But you're not a stupid orc.
No, I'm not. He gets all offended. I'm not an orc. Mother says I'm better than them.
Oh, you're not an orc. What are you?
I'm better than them. And just kind of.
But what are you?
I'm Mother's son.
But not an orc.
Not an orc. Oh, I've got fortune and misfortune.
Whatever you are, you only got one leg, you idiot.
He screams at you. Ah! I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
Yeah, come catch me. And I take a couple steps away.
Hey, man. Is there any chance we could talk to Mother?
You have to get past the hundreds and hundreds of orcs, and the High Orcs Lieutenant Guar. He is there with his men.
Couldn't you just, take us there? Kinda?
They will not welcome men into camp. They will kill you on sight.
Those guys are dicks.
Wait. What if we dress up as women? I mean,
Well,
Kozel, you already have the hair for it. That's just like find some big apples and put them under your shirt
He's wearing a robe.
and sand out. You'll have to wear a mask or something. I don't know about you,
He's too pretty.
but I'll wear a hood and I'll get some apples too. We could pull this off, guys.
No,
Hey, man,
I'm
I'm
going to
old
stop you
enough.
right there. No.
So he goes. He's starting to fade now. He's starting to fade from the pain, and he's starting to pass out as you guys are
Right.
arguing amongst your.
Wait. Before you pass out, just remember to loosen that tourniquet every 15 minutes. Okay? And then after a minute, you tighten it back up, and you'll be fine.
He passes out from the pain.
I hope he remembers that, otherwise he's gonna die.
We need to take him back to the village with us. He has a sense of numbers. He has a sense of why they have it out against the village. I think Maximilian will need to speak to him.
Yeah, I think you're right, man.
And we should probably bring Waldman back with us as well.
Can you carry two?
Okay, yeah, how are you gonna carry 3 people?
Waldman isn't a large man. Surely you guys can manage Waldman.
You've got Klaus, he's like, we should kill this thing. Don't bring it back alive. Kill it.
Just think what Maximilian will do to it, young man. Waldman is Maximilian's son, right? Or was.
Waldman was, yes. According to
Right.
the little chart up there, yes. He is his son. Or was his son, yes.
Right. Yeah.
He there was talk of he had a daughter at the time of the disappearance and a wife.
Wonder if the daughter is the sister this guy's referring to. Well, we'll find out. Yeah, we need to get both back.
You can always go
This
down to
one
the
alive
camp
if possible.
and do some reconnaissance while you're here.
I don't know.
I don't
man.
know. I don't think it's necessary. I mean, our prisoner knows more than we could actually find out just by looking. And I think in a more controlled environment where we don't feel like we can be ambushed, we can get more out of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think taking him back, and then Maximilian would know the questions to ask. You know, what's the name of mother? What's the name of your sister?
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely not looking forward to having to roll Waldman's corpse down this fucking hill, but
I mean, we can lower it on ropes to make it easy and just, we'll just do it that
and
way.
hit every rock down along the way.
well, it may look like he was thoroughly beaten to death, but I assure you,
No,
That
that's the
happened
story you tell
after
Maximilian,
the
his
fact.
father. He was beaten by 100 orcs,
that's it. Give him that hero's death.
bludgeoned, as if being lowered down by by a rope at a mountain.
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
well, we're almost at end time then, so why don't we stop here before we go any further? You guys are going to set off back towards town with your
Now that we've derailed the GM,
captain.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. Guys, head back with the boy, the orc boy.
I'm back. Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
Hey.
You know, when you scrutinized him with that talisman there, you also kind of devised that he's around, maybe 10 to 12 years old.
which
Oh.
would fit.
Yeah.
So we will leave off there, and like I said, we probably have one more session left in us, and then that'll be the end of a bitter harvest as everything comes to a close. You guys are already putting together the pieces of what's going on here.
I
Yep.
feel like we haven't accomplished much.
You've just kind of, well, you've fallen into some of this stuff, but no, you've accomplished some stuff.
Failing forward.
That's it.
We'll see how this plays out, because this point here, it's playing out very differently than the last group I ran this for. So it's interesting. We're interested to see what happens from here on out. And
Well, I think this is good. I mean, because this is
I like it.
things that we can confront Maximilian with as well. It's like, look, there are obvious family resemblances. He had this, token on him. mother sounds suspiciously like your old wife. Come on. Level with us. What happened?
Come on, pal. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's end there. Thank you to everyone who tuned in and watched us. It sucks. We've lost Blord again. It's that crazy Alaskan internet connection. We seem
Sure
to
is.
lost him the last two sessions, which is terrible.
Who would have thought that Alaskan infrastructure could be unreliable?
Right? A moose just.
Of course, you're Canadian, so you're not that far away.
Oh, come on now. Do you know how far away Alaska is? You have no clue.
You're practically
Right next
on the
door,
US
right?
border.
Your neighbors.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Our neighbors. We're
According
also-
to my public education, it's right next door.
We're also neighbors with you guys right next door to
Yep.
the lower 48.
Yep.
So take that how you will.
Okay.
But with that, we'll say goodnight. Thank you, everyone. We'll be back next week. That will most likely be the end of this. And this Saturday, I don't know if we're streaming or what we're doing. Bert's going to start some Delta Green for us. We're going to do some character creation. It's more of a session 0 rather than an actual play session. So that may be streamed on Chuck's channel, my channel. It may not be streamed on either, and just uploaded at a later time on one of our YouTubes and on the podcast channels.
It sounds like it will be a
1970s
blast.
Delta Green.
Yeah, Delta Green. So that'll be awesome. So tune in for that. And yeah, watch Twitter for announcements on whether or not we're going to be streaming that. Otherwise, it'll be on one of our channels. But thank you, everybody who tuned in and watched us play. As always, appreciate it. And we'll be back again next week for the finale of Zweihander, A Bitter Harvest.